at 25, having to figure out how to get back in these streets. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
All right. So I'm not really sure why she decided to bring this situation to the internet and make such a personal issue so public. As for what she means by being out here in these streets, we're about to find out. But stick around, because today's video features some of the wildest relationship crashes and public meltdowns we've seen recently. And you won't want to miss a single unbelievable clip.
So lucky, you guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in these streets so I can figure out. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things.
The thing is,
the interesting part is that no one is forcing her to live that kind of lifestyle. Everyone has the freedom to make their own choices about dating and relationships. That's why it's a bit surprising that those ideas are first things she brings up when talking about starting a family. If building a long-term relationship is the goal, it's understandable why many people would expect the conversation to focus more on commitment, compatibility, and shared values instead.
Because 38 some years ago, I had my first child, and the regret lasts forever. So, it's really important that we're out here to say it's not healthcare, it's women, obviously baby, but it also hurts the generations. So my children have been affected by it as well, and I will never see grandchildren, great-grandchildren from that child.
Wow, thank you so much for standing for life and for sharing your story.
I mean, that's undeniably an emotional video, and it highlights something many people experience after making major life decisions. She describes carrying deep regret years later, which shows how lasting and personal those feelings can be. At the same time, everyone's experience is different. Some people feel regret, while others do not. Whatever someone's perspective may be, it's clear that decisions like these can have a profound emotional impact that lasts for many years.
Considered romantic for a man to serve, but oppressive for a woman to serve.
You know, I actually really disagree with that. I don't think it's oppressive, but I think there's a lot of brainwash going on. I'm just going to say it straight out like that.
Like I said, it's a system set up by men. Women weren't allowed to serve, so now it just seems oppressive if we do. The roles are just weird to switch.
How do modern women respond if you ask them to make you a sandwich?
They'd respond negatively, but it's just a negative term coined by men meant to antagonize women.
I don't think being asked to make someone a sandwich is automatically disrespectful or meant to put anyone down. In many healthy relationships, partners do small favors for each other all the time, whether it's making lunch, preparing coffee, or helping out before work. What really matters is whether the effort goes both ways. If both people are willing to support each other in everyday tasks, then it's simply a normal part of sharing responsibilities rather than something to take offense at.
I had a Bumble date last night, and I left at 4 a.m. this morning and just told her to lock up. Dude, she cleans my bathroom, makes my bed, and the kicker is she done all, like 90% of my laundry. And I hate doing laundry. So I don't know if I done something right, maybe done something wrong, maybe she felt sorry for me, or I'll get a second date, who knows, but that was definitely the best one ever.
Honestly, this interaction seems to have left a strong impression on him. If they share similar values and continue to get along this well, it's easy to see why people would joke that he may have met someone with real long-term potential. Many viewers appreciate seeing relationships built on mutual respect kindness, and compatibility. And moments like this naturally resonate with those looking for the same qualities in a partner.
The reason why you don't hear about healthy relationships anymore is because of the fact that those of us in healthy relationships ain't got to say to y'all. Because anytime we tell you what we do for our husband or what our husband does for us, y'all look for any reason to try to come up with some type of excuse or some type of narrative that we're being controlled or that we're not really happy or I would never do that. Is exactly why you're miserable is still single, and exactly why no matter who you try to date or what you try to date, you still end up unhappy because you have this long list of what you feel like is supposed to come from a relationship. I can't remember the last time that I did laundry, but I will be out here taking the trash out because I don't give a I would rather take the trash out than to be downstairs doing laundry. You take the trash out, you're a woman. You shouldn't be taking out the trash. That's a man's job. Your man does the laundry. You should be doing that. You're the woman. It just so happens that what he doesn't like to do, I don't mind doing. What I don't like to do, he doesn't mind doing. Like, y'all are weird. My husband cooks probably most of the time. My husband taught me how to cook because I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to season. And when he gets done cooking, I serve him his plate. I serve him, and then once he's done eating, he gets up and leaves, and I take his plate, and I go there, and I clean the kitchen. The reason why we don't be talking about how good our relationship is or how healthy it is because y'all's little toxic coming in there trying to say something crazy, yet y'all are the single one. Make that make sense.
I really don't think this has to turn into a men versus women debate. People have different strengths, and that's perfectly normal. On average, men tend to have greater upper body strength, which can make certain physically demanding tasks easier for them, while women often excel in other areas. There's nothing wrong with recognizing those differences. In a healthy relationship, it's not about keeping score. It's about working together, appreciating each other's strengths, and supporting one another where it makes the most sense.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what the hell did you mean by that? Because women can't do it all. We can't.
A healthy relationship is built on kindness, teamwork, and doing thoughtful things for each other without always keeping score. Often, the small everyday gestures, whether it's making a meal, running an errand, or helping out after a long day, mean the most. And even when your partner directly asks for a favor, it shouldn't automatically be seen as disrespectful or controlling. As long as there's mutual appreciation and both people are willing to support one another, those simple acts of kindness only make the relationship stronger.
If you look closely, you can see two dudes actually getting work done in the background. I don't think there's a better example of modern feminism. A bunch of chicks standing around with their fingers up their complaining about their workplace while simultaneously getting no work done. All the while, there's two dudes actually getting work done in the background. I mean, this is just like, it's poetic.
Like I said, this doesn't have to become a men versus women debate. People have different strengths, abilities, and preferences, and that's completely normal. On average, there are some physical differences between men and women, which can make certain tasks easier for one group than the other, but that doesn't determine a person's overall value or capability. In a healthy relationship, the focus should be on working together, respecting each other's strengths, and supporting one another rather than turning every difference into a competition.
Men can do, we can do better.
your mom could beat up anybody?
I'm pretty confident she could beat up a lot of people.
What percentage of men could your mom beat up at 5'4", do you think?
At 5 foot. She's 5
Oh,
foot.
excuse me.
5'0".
Oh, you are aware that the average male height is like 5'9", 5'10".
So I believe last time I checked it was 5'8", yeah.
So what percentage of men in the U.S. do you think that your mom could beat up? How much does she weigh too, by the way?
Right now she's at like 145.
You're 5 foot. What percentage of men do you think your mom could beat up?
Fighting dirty, I think approximately.
The man can fight dirty too.
Yeah, approximately 80%.
Holy.
Have you ever seen a fist fight?
Have you ever shot someone?
You are delusional,
Have you ever
my
seen
dear. So Brock Lesnar, I think he's like well over 6 feet. He's probably over 200 pounds. Could your mom beat him up?
You said he's 6 feet?
Forget his height. Let's say this is 5 foot Brock Lesnar. Could your mom beat up Brock Lesnar? UFC.
She might be able to. Okay,
You're so, oh my God, you're delusional.
I think that's a pretty unrealistic claim. While confidence is one thing, saying you could physically overpower the vast majority of men isn't supported by the average differences in size, strength, and athletic performance between men and women. Of course, individual ability varies, and a well-trained person can outperform someone who's untrained. But making a blanket statement like that ignores those differences and comes across as more overconfident than realistic.
53. It has been several years. Where are all the good men? I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired.
It's honestly sad to see how many people today feel like they're struggling to find a lasting relationship. Over the past several years, many have talked about the challenges of modern dating, changing expectations, and how much more complicated it can feel to build genuine connections. While everyone's experience is different, it's clear that both men and women can find it difficult to meet compatible partners. Hopefully, more people can focus on honesty, communication, and shared values, because those qualities are still the foundation of strong, long-term relationships.
Story short, my husband cleans the coffee machine, I make the coffee. And recently, I just decided to start cleaning the coffee machine. And as I'm cleaning the coffee machine week after week, I'm starting to get frustrated. And I passively aggressive made a comment to my husband saying like, why aren't you cleaning the coffee machine, basically? And he's like, well, you've been cleaning it. And I created a whole story around my husband and me not feeling appreciated because I make the coffee and he's not cleaning it, but I've been the one cleaning it. So real life things that happen, that we create stories sometimes over things that aren't even happening, and then we wonder why, and it had nothing to do with me not being appreciated. I just was cleaning it, and now I clean it, and I don't.
I'm not really sure what she was hoping to accomplish by sharing this online. From what's shown, it seems like she started doing a few thoughtful things around the house, such as cleaning the coffee machine, and over time those gestures simply became part of the daily routine. That doesn't necessarily mean they went unnoticed or weren't appreciated. In many relationships, people don't verbally acknowledge every small act of kindness, but that doesn't mean they don't value them. Healthy relationships are built on mutual appreciation, and it's often expressed through actions just as much as words.
Normalize you letting me borrow your husband, and not in that way, you freaking weirdos, but like in the way where you both come over and he helps, hang my TV and lift all the heavy things.
Absolutely not. You see, he's my husband. He is not community labor. He is not a public utility. He is not our man. He is my man. And I will curb stomp anyone over that man. And you see, this is the part that makes me laugh even harder about this, is this is coming from a culture of women who have spent years when being asked the question, what do you bring to the table? Their answer is, well, I am the table. A table that now apparently needs my man. Except the only table that this man eats from is mine. But if you need help around your house, you actually have some real options. You can call a handyman. You can call a contractor. You can call an electrician. And guess what? They are all licensed. They have websites, phone numbers, and invoices. And here's the best part. You can pay them with your INDEPENDENT money. My husband is not a shared resource. My marriage is not a community program. If you need a man to come do those things in your house, then go get you a man.
Every relationship has its own boundaries, and those expectations should be discussed and respected by both partners. In this situation, it seems this woman isn't comfortable with her partner helping another woman in a way she feels crosses those boundaries. Whether people agree with that expectation or not, what's most important is that both partners are on the same page about what they consider appropriate. Open communication and mutual respect for each other's comfort levels are what help prevent misunderstandings and build trust.
Like, what else is out there? I just wanted to explore and see what else is out there.
You kind of do because you were out there under other people. So you know what else is out there.
Now, and I don't want anything else. I want you, Avery.
Oh my God, that sounds cringe nowadays.
Why
I
does it
just
sound
cannot
so
bear to
cringe?
listen to
That
you
I
talk
want to
like
be with
that.
the man I've been with for 12 years?
Okay, but you
That
didn't.
I realized I made a mistake and I want to come back to the man I love? Like, that's crazy?
Yeah, and well,
12
what's
years
crazy
of
is how much I
love,
don't
4
give
years
a fuck.
of marriage,
So,
2 children. Like, I want to come home. I want to be welcomed
were you
into
thinking
the
about?
I mean, she may view it as the biggest mistake of her life, but that doesn't necessarily mean the relationship can be repaired. For many people, infidelity permanently breaks the trust that a marriage is built on, and once that trust is gone, they're simply not willing to give the relationship another chance. Everyone responds differently to betrayal, but it's understandable that some people decide to move on rather than try to rebuild after something they see as a fundamental breach of trust.
Man asks you to not dress half naked or post bikini thirst traps, it's not because he's a controlling, insecure narcissist. It's because he doesn't want other men to have access to what he has. This is just primal nature in men. It's also disrespectful. I don't care what anyone says. You dancing in a bikini on TikTok or posting thirst trap bikini photos shows other men that you don't really value your relationship. Other men see that and think, oh, well, I could go sleep with her really easily. She doesn't value her relationship anyways. And I would actually argue that the men that ask you to not dress half naked or post bikini thirst traps are more confident, more protective of you, and they are better men to marry. And he's not hiding your beauty or whatever other excuses they like to make up. I would actually argue that it's more elegant, it's more appealing, it's more beautiful to be covered up a little bit more. Calling your man insecure when they simply just ask you to not dress trashy is like him calling you insecure when he asks to go to a club. You wouldn't like that, would you?
So, yes, I understand the analogy being made. In many relationships, spending time in environments that are closely associated with meeting potential romantic or sexual partners could make a partner uncomfortable. Whether that's acceptable really depends on the boundaries the couple has agreed on. If someone is in a committed relationship, it's generally important to respect those shared expectations and be mindful of how certain situations might affect trust. Open communication and mutual agreement about those boundaries are what matter most.
Don't just leave for a younger woman. They leave for a softer one with softer feminine energy. A man can watch you age in his arms and still want you like day one unless you kill that vibe. Brutal truth is that desire does not die from a little bit of stretch marks or gray hair. It dies from the eye rolls. It dies when every sentence starts with a correction or when you talk to him like he is incompetent. Also, when you compete with him instead of receive. Nothing turns a man off faster than constant criticism that you call advice, mothering him instead of admiring him, speaking to him with contempt instead of warmth, acting like his presence is a burden and not a gift. Men don't need you to worship them. They need you just to respect them. Respect goes a long way. If the energy is hostile and cold, he wants you to want him, to look at him like he's your man, not your opponent. He will stay obsessed with you if you make him feel 10 feet tall, even if she's 55 plus with laugh lines, gray hair, and a softer body than the day that they...
Yeah, she makes an important point. In many cases, divorces and long-term breakups don't happen because of a single argument or one bad day. More often, they're the result of unresolved issues, poor communication, unmet expectations, or ongoing conflicts that build up over time until one or both partners feel they can't continue. While every relationship is different, these situations are often the outcome of problems that have been accumulating for months or even years. But stick around, because you won't want to miss this final clip. It just might be the most surprising one yet.
There's a huge disconnect happening between men and women right now. And I want to share something I've been realizing about why men seem to be getting better while most women are struggling more. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Men have all these platforms teaching them accountability and how to level up. But when I look at what we as women are consuming, it honestly made me realize something important. Men have podcasts like Jocko Podcast teaching discipline, Jordan Peterson teaching accountability, David Goggins teaching mental toughness, and there's so many more. They're consuming content that pushes them to build themselves up and take responsibility. But I started noticing what we as women are consuming. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Call Her Daddy, Girls Gotta Eat, Real Housewives, Love Island, and there's just so many more. And I realized this content is programming us to create more drama, feel more entitled, and expect things without bringing anything valuable ourselves. I see influencers like Shira7, Miss Sprinkle Sprinkle, teaching manipulation tactics, and others like Ari Kitsia, if that's how you say it, promoting culture, teaching us that our value comes from our instead of building actual skills or character. Men have an entire ecosystem telling them to take responsibility and work harder, and they listen. We have way more content telling us we're perfect as we are and that our problems are someone else's fault. I've realized that most of us don't want to be challenged. Men are consuming content that makes them better. We're consuming content that makes us worse. And then we wonder why there's such a disconnect.
Yeah, it's understandable why people can end up feeling more divided on topics like relationships. Social media, online discussions, and personal experiences often reinforce existing opinions, making disagreements seem even larger than they are. And it's not limited to conversations about men and women. Similar patterns can be seen across many areas of society, including politics and other social issues. That said, there are still plenty of people who value respectful dialogue and common ground. But that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.